Hey, how's about it on a Sunday, everybody? We gonna do it up right and righteously. This is the format I want to have for my Bible studies. I want to do this once a week. I want to have the songs, the scripture reading, the book reading, and a personal anecdote. Those four things. Now, if it gains some traction, we can turn this into a panel. Nobody's going to strong arm anyone. Everyone's going to get equal say, and it'll be a very beautiful thing. This isn't going to be some stuffy, stupid thing. This is practical, real advice based on what I've had and me trying to get advice from you guys. Some of the other Bible stream things, it gets a little stuffy. I use that word a lot. I am mature and I have bad ADHD, so it's hard to get to the meat of a situation or to decode and defragment everything. But I'm hopeful, and I think this life's going to get better. I'm taking you guys along for the ride. Woo! So if you guys want to talk about the Lord's struggles, the blessings in your life, let me know. We've all been through... Oh, man. I wish I could tell my entire life story. You guys' heads would explode. I will sometime. And I'll brutalize you with it. Anyway, we're going to do one song to start out. I got to find my worship folder and do... learning guitar worship songs are really good. And some are actually kind of difficult. It gives you good practice with your open chord shapes and changes. That's the reason I learned guitar, to join my worship team. And one guy was getting all the chicks in the church, and I was like, no! Still getting used to this microphone. What a treat, what a treat. I will not be anxious. Jesus, you are near. The peace of God surrounding me, casting out all fear. Hand that holds the heavens, storming seas is calling me by name. I'm singing in the victory of the cross, resting in the shadow, your redeeming love. I'm standing on the promise of new life. When I have forgotten fullness of your grace, I remember Calvary, where you took my place. I'm singing in the victory of the cross, resting in the shadow, your redeeming love. I'm standing on the promise of you. I am yours forever. Jesus, you are mine. Jesus, you are mine. Everybody, 1, 2. There is no one like you, Lord. You're the measurable and strong. There is no one like you, God. and strong on. There's no one like you, God. Lead this heart to singing on. I'm singing in the victory of the cross, resting in the shadow of your redeeming love. I'm standing on the promise of you, Lord. I am yours forever. Jesus, you are mine. Jesus, you are mine. Love it. I love it. I love it. I want some more of it. Fortunately, that's all I know. I should prepare more songs for next time. I never know what my moods are going to be. Oh, I love you too, darling. Yay. Always a beacon of deliciousness and positivity from the darkest corners of the realms of the world of the imagination of your mom. Oh. Let's see. I want to do like holy, 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 or like wake up my soul, wake up early in the day, wake up my hands and the instrument I play, wake up my voice. Let the world hear me say, you are worshipped and exalted here today. Loving kindness is great as heavens, faithfulness that's higher than the skies. Though my enemies they try to surround me, let your glory shine. Wake up my soul. Okay. Now I know, this is kind of a Christian song. Moving On Up by Primal Scream. I can't really sing it, though. Where's my... Oh! No! This always happens. So drop the pick in the thing. Wait. Lord, no. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, but I lost all my good songs. I gotta redo them. Some of you know, because you're a musician. You know, sometimes there's no substitute for the magic of the moment. Like sometimes you'll sing it amazing and you can't recapture it for whatever reason. You're like, come on, you like even if you practice it. But other things come with practice, you know. But I never want to make it like a dumb ritual. I want to make it like a fun hobby. What up, Mr. Jose Gonzalez? Okay. I don't know if you guys remember this one from the 90s. Oh, no. It's got a cape out. No! Oh, no, it's out of tune. No! I have really bad... I have friends that have perfect pitch, and I'm so jealous of them, but I have really bad ears. I can't tell when it's out of tune until it's like too late. I can't tune. I have to have a tuner app. Hold up. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop. Don't stop. What song's that? I love it when it's like, won't stop, can't stop. I mean, can't stop, won't stop. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Because at first you won't stop, and eventually you just can't stop. That's the progression. It's linear. Yeah, wait. BRB. coming on up now. Getting out of the darkness. My light shines on. My light shines on. My light shines on. All right. I'll play later, but I got some stuff I wants to say. So we're going to be reading out of this book, Depression, A Rescue Plan. I read the first couple chapters on my last stream, but you guys aren't missing out if you're behind. Takes all the scientific mumbo jumbo and it merges it with the spiritual, palatable awesomeness. I'm just going to read some encouraging stuff. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open unto you. Matthew 7:7. Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take, or felt a longing in your heart for something more, but didn't know where to turn? Jesus' words in Matthew remind us that we are never alone in these moments. God is not a distant figure. He's a loving Father who invites us to come to him with every need, dream, and question. Ask, Jesus said, and God will hear you. Seek and believe. Knock, and the door will be open in faith for you. This isn't a one-time invitation, but it's a daily thing. It's a daily prayer and opportunity to deepen our relationship with him. He loves us more than we love ourselves. That's what is blowing my mind this whole week, like reflecting on. He says, I've got the hairs on your head numbered. He knows all the fish in the sea and the birds on the sky. When we're the me of the moment and acting impulsively, he's the Lord of our lifetime, and he's the arch that encapsulates our entire lives. And it's hard to think that, because you ever done something crazy and you think you're either mad at God or you think he's mad at you, or both. So then you're like, this sucks, because every time we sin or we're confused or whatever, it throws this big monkey wrench into the system. And sometimes I wish like the worst thing I ever did was stepping on an ant or something, you know what I mean? Because even that's technically a sin, but the weird factor is there, but we just got to trust God. Why does he allow all the pain and suffering in the world? We may never know, and we may not be meant to know. That's the beauty. We have to know that we have to throw our hands up in the air, and there has to be some degree of humility and concession that we're not meant to know everything on this earth and beyond, Yay, the freaks and real ones. Woo! Hey, darling. I got to say that it's part of my mental disorder, but I never can estimate who's going to show up, when and why and how. Like I said, on my old channel, I made streams I put all this work into, and they didn't get a single view. And then I had streams where I'm just like talking about nothing, and a bunch of people showed up. So I don't know. I wish I could decode people better. That's my biggest thing I have to trust God with. I want to be more social, and I want to be more a people person, but I don't want to be a people pleaser in a bad way where I feel like I have to be everything to everyone. I know you guys probably struggle with something like that. We're all here for a reason. We all have something missing or seeming like it's missing in our lives, and we're trying to fill that void. Even when his answers differ from our expectations. Like, why would he plant the seed of doubt in our heads if sometimes I'm like, man, I just want to be more useful or feel that way or have the symbolism of it or something. And I'm like, ugh. And there's that verse that's kind of frustrating, and it's like, doesn't the potter have the right to say to the clay what he wants and fashion it into one vessel for destruction and one for good, He's always ready to welcome us with open arms, even after running away, like the prodigal son story in the Bible. Sometimes life feels like a maze. You're not sure which way to turn. Thank you for reminding me I can always come to you and cling to you. Help me for your guidance, even in the small stuffs when I'm searching for answers. Give me the courage to seek you first. When the doors seem closed, help me to trust your timing and find the window to crawl through if necessary. I know you're not a genie granting wishes, but a loving Father who knows what's best. When your answers surprise me, help me to trust your heart. Thank you for always being there, ready to listen and guide. Help me draw close to you, bringing everything together in prayer and supplication. Okay. So like I struggle with ADHD, and I know you guys know that, but that's where it's like some things cancel out, and it's like, is anything really worth pursuing? There's been so many times I had to start from scratch, and I had to move, and I had to just take inventory of my life, and I just didn't know what was going on. He goes to prepare a place for us and to pave the way. Wait, isn't it Sunday? Oh, it is Sunday. Oh, it's the first too. Ooh, I'm working on my. I'm still in depression. Keeps kicking, but I just give it to the Lord. Oh, yeah, it's so strange. Like, what is his point with making us? And that's why I just want to be real and honest here. I don't want to. Some Christians just have this big sugarcoating thing, and they pretend like they're not bummed out. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that's the way to go. To just gloss over everything all the time. I don't know if it even helps talking about it sometimes. Sometimes it just triggers us to like think about it more, right? There's no easy answer. I want you to. I had a dream that I asked you to sing harmony on one of my choruses for my songs, and you said no for some reason. You said I won't sing on your track, but I will haunt your track. So I think I might want you to haunt me with some ethereal swirling vocals of some kind. Like I think I showed you that song, No New Story to Tell. Like singing on the chorus would be cool. No pressure. Yeah, there's a lot of Seventh-day Adventists that worship on the Sabbath. No judgments to them. I forget which verse they quote that says that it's Saturday is their Sunday. What else? Oh yeah, personal anecdotes. Oh, yeah. What do you guys suggest? Like, do you have any go-to Bible verses that you cling to and comfort you in these times? But yeah, I do. Especially with my old few channels, I was riding this wave of relative popularity during the time everything else in my life was falling to complete pieces. So I just wrapped myself up in the Discords and the YouTube and the integration of it all. And I thought, there's no way to break away. It's so addicting, this whole cycle. It's like chasing my tail, And I realized, yeah, some attention is good. But I've had to start my life over so many times, and I'm 43 years old, and I'm just like, come on, all of this and aging too. How can I handle both? It's two huge chunks. But Jose is very, very helpful. He creates great little designs of things. Oh, that'd be awesome. I would love that. Yeah, I would send you messages on Facebook. I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother her, and maybe she's going through something and stuff. But whenever I have an idea, I just have to go blast, and so it could come across a certain way. That is, I'm praying for strength and versatility to do more collaborations. One of my biggest things is just feeling like a social outcast, and I felt this way ever since I was a kid, being homeschooled. They tried to send me to private Christian school, and I just caused trouble, and it was weird. I don't know. Everyone was playing sports, and I would just be making my little talk shows with my Home Alone Talk Boy tape recorder with the chipmunk mode and the low voice, And I would lie and say I wasn't any good at it, but I was covering because I didn't want to say the real reason is I thought basketball was so mundane. You're just going back and forth trying to get a ball in a hole, and I wanted more highfalutin pursuits, and I didn't know how to say it because I didn't want to sound stuck up. And I didn't know I had a mental disorder back then. I didn't learn till I was 28, and then it's like, okay, now all of this makes sense. I'm just like, holy cow, cling to the Lord. But then I'm like, I get mad at God. Have you guys ever said, why would you not want me to be as useful as I could be, even though technically I'm being a bad person or whatever else, imperfections need to be sanded away? Because I'd get jealous. I say, well, look at this guy. I know he's worse than me, and you're totally blessing him more. But we don't know what goes on behind the curtains and the scenes of other people's lives. We just think we do, and then it triggers us to give like a jealous response or something. Yeah. Oh, cool. She was a sour girl the day that she met me. Yeah, I guess I'll read a little bit of this. But my main thing is I want to do very short streams. That way, if it's a waste of time, I haven't wasted that much time. And also do more things and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, my last channel, I thought I had a good idea. Like, I thought the karaoke thing would take off based on my first channel. And I was building it up and people were so encouraging, like, oh, we can't wait till you do that. But then I lost 7 channels in the interim. And my last one, I was broadcasting third-party content I didn't even know. It was like Saturday Night Live and some other bigger channels that struck me. The one I did 3 days ago, it was blocked globally for 5 songs. So they're all songs for the 2000s and relatively more popular than I normally play. And I was like, come on. Usually I'll just say blocked in Romania, you know. So I just hope I can cut through. I get real frustrated. I'm like, wow, what little talents you've given me. I can't water the plant to make it grow. I can't monetize it. It's just, right now I'm only getting money from my plasma donations. It's very little a month. A year and a half ago, I was getting donos, even just like 20 to 50 a month. That made a huge difference. But I want to get back where my stuff's worthy of making some money. Devil is good at making people think it's God when they are not God inside, or soul wise or lost. The blessings aren't from the Lord. Yeah. The devil is allowed free reign on this earth for a short time period, and God's going to crush his skull in the end. That's the victory. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you could do nothing. Wow. John 15:5. The world is getting worse, and we need to come together in peace and faith. You know, and this drama, I mean, come on, let's talk about it. It's a total disease, and it does add to our depression. But the way our brains are wired, it produces these endorphins, and it gets us all riled up in a way. Our brain is like, wow, this is significant. Look at this. It radiates some type of energy. We can't. But now I see my life where I see where it germinated. Like before I came on here, I did more stuff, but I also, I don't know, like it starts with like just bad viewing habits that can just go downhill after a while. And you, like, I thought, oh, you know, of course, as a kid, you know, I wasn't allowed to watch anything above a PG rated movie. So I got like Blu-ray player when it first came out, a big TV in my bedroom. And I was just like watching all these R-rated movies, and I thought it was so cool, you know. But even that, it just kind of led to the next step, and I got more worldly and more worldly. And I thought, well, this is good because I'm casting a wider net, so I'm bound to succeed. But I lost my ability to witness to people, to just be myself, you know. I never thought I'd be tempted as an adult to like pander to people. Are you kidding me? I thought I'd have a 6-figure salary and a mansion and all this stuff like Diddy and bad example. But yeah. ADHD is crazy because it affects your ability to present something to someone, and also prevents you to taking in. Like I could watch, you know, a 10-minute video and just not remember what I watched right afterwards. It's like, oh, what's the point? You know? Okay, I'm going to read a little in this chapter 3, Depression, a Rescue Plan, a Practical Christian Response to Depression by Jim Winter. Theories as to the causes of depression abound. A great deal of medical research has taken place to instigate the nature of biological changes in body chemistry and contribute to mood disorders. As a result of this, antidepressant medication has been devised and used by some effect. Psychological theories are less defined and generally determined by particular theories of personality. Different schools of thought focus on different causes. A psychodynamic approach will focus on inward aggression and the loss of a love object, while others will argue that depression is the result of a disturbance of cognition rather than emotion. The behavioralist sees it in terms of learned helplessness, while the existentialist of the loss of meaning of existence. This, of course, is an oversimplification of more complex theories, but it does illustrate the diversity of information and speculation that surround the subject. A biblical approach while acknowledging the contribution of medicine and psychology will inevitably cause us to look deeply at our relationship with God and His Word. In the following 2 chapters, we will look at some of the reasons why a person may become depressed. I will limit the field to reasons which generally apply to our human condition. In subsequent chapters, we will deal with matters more specific to the Christian. Yeah, so growing up like in the shadow of the church, I had nowhere to go with my supposed, I thought I might have a disorder, but I didn't, because the rest of my family seems pretty normal and stuff. But like, I was always taught that everything is an issue of the heart, and there's no such thing as brain chemistry that can be changed and stuff. Of course, back then we didn't know as much as we did now, and the first books on ADHD were like more about kids in kindergarten who couldn't stop tapping their foot and eating paste and whatever, jumping up and dancing on the desks. But as an adult, it can have the same equivalent symptoms, but also crazier stuff, getting fired from a million jobs. I should tell you guys my firing stories sometime. You wouldn't believe it. 2 Corinthians 10:5. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captivity every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Yeah, I like that, take every thought captive. That's interesting language. The Bible really has a lot of beautiful ways of saying things. What's the best version of the Bible? Which one do you guys read? The Standard used to be like King James, then it was New King James. But the New American Standard is a little more palatable while not watering down the original translation language. But now they have the New English Standard Version, which a lot of pastors are switching to that have used one go-to for like decades. So that tells you a lot, if they're able to switch it up like that. Maddie and Keita may collaborate. Oh, it would be so much fun. That would be wild. But yeah. But I haven't even done like stuff like just the audio. That would be way easier to layer. I'm more interested in the video related stuff. But I could still layer harmonies and like extra guitar parts or whatever. But yeah, we'll totally collaborate. I want to do stuff with drum beats and get all that like organized. We're ruined by the fall, the origin of all pain and suffering of body and mind, of sin and death and estrangement from God. All the calamities of this life and the judgment to come can be traced back to one event in the history of man. How's my audio, by the way? Is it loud enough? Oh, we love you too. Oh, dude, no, you don't have to make me anything else. The last one you made me was worth 1,000 by anybody else, if that makes sense. I want to I got to kind of prioritize. I want to do, the OBS thing, better titles, better pictures, better marketing, keywords, certain things, the end screen, Yay, we're bringing the positivity back. See, I was scared. I know it's a weakness, but I was scared to do this initially because I thought I would just get trolled nonstop. No one would take it seriously. There would be no growth. There'd be no encouragement. But now you guys are really making a difference. It's so weird. Everything seems like a shot in the dark, right? Like even if we're the greatest Christian of all time, we're still not guaranteed any form of happiness per se until we make it to the other side. And it's like, oh man. And then other time I'm like, all right, bring on the walls, bring on the challenges, bring on the crappiness. I'm like, oh no, what am I praying? Because I don't want to remind God to make things harder. You know what I mean? I know it's stupid, but we attribute human limitations to God. We can't help it sometimes. And then we put him in a box and we wonder why, just stinking thinking it ain't working. Oh, thank you. Crispy crisp. See, I like you because I know you'll always tell me the truth about my audio. Some people let me go a whole stream but not even audible. Okay. Every area of man's being, body and soul, has been corrupted by sin. Our bodies are subject to sickness and decay and ultimately death. Our thoughts and desires are permeated with rebellion against God. The fall is central to our understanding of man's condition and the need for salvation in Jesus Christ. Dr. Martin Lloyd-Jones describes it in the following way. The Bible tells what God made the world. He made man. He placed male and female in a position that can be described as paradise. There they lived and had communion with God. You get an idyllic picture. Then you come on and get this other picture, which is provided in the 3rd chapter. It tells us life as it was, and then shows us this picture of Adam and Eve hiding their misery and wretchedness, trying to avoid God and get away from the voice that followed them. It announced the curse that came upon the earth, that the woman should conceive in sorrow and pain, and that man should toil and eat in the sweat of face. And we are told how thorns and thistles, disease, and death first came in. First life as God made it, then life as it's become. There is the whole power, the whole explanation of the position we are considering together. So this is, a lot of people say, if you provide signs and wonders, then I would believe in God. But from day one, God proves that this is a fallacy. It's totally not true. Because Adam and Eve were the the only people on the earth, and they had direct communication with God. Like he was physically talking to them, right? Every second of every day, and they still found it within their hearts to sin. That's crazy. And of course, God made it so that they would sin technically ahead of time, but that's hard to explain. You know, some people say the devil made me do it, but ultimately God, is in control of the devil. It's just hard to wrap your head around that. But he did that so nobody could be stuck up. And then when the I mix up the stories. I don't know if it was Moses or Abraham, but when they were wandering in the desert and they were getting bitten by all those snakes, remember that story? And God goes, look to the snake on the stick. And all they had to do was raise their eyeballs 1/4 of a centimeter. But their pride was so strong that they said, screw that, we're being bitten by snakes, and now you're making a mockery of the situation. The last thing we're going to do is take the second to look. That is my favorite story. And obviously on YouTube, people are completely nuts, and it's not hard to see this in action today. I mean, it's pretty funny. It's funny because it's not funny, Oh my gosh, that would be wild. You don't have to, but and I still struggle with issues of copywriting stuff because 1, I don't think anyone would ever steal my stuff because it's not very good. But 2, I'm always trying to rework stuff. But that's why if I do more acoustic stuff, it forces me into more of a simple position where I just let the song kind of shine for itself. And I'm not in the studio layering all these weird instruments and sound effects and stuff. I was turning into Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, when he went crazy. I don't know if you know that story. He was trying to top the Beatles and, follow up to Pet Sounds. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? How you doing? But yeah, when I first got on here, I was just marking myself as a single guy and just loving talking to all the women, and I got way too wrapped up in that. I had the Discord with 75 women, and they all got along, and I'm like, oh, this is a good thing. How could it possibly be bad? And then I'm like, oh, this is dumb. I don't want to be some stupid Casanova and string people along, and people have hurt feelings or a weird opinion of me. And it's tough though. I love women. I struggle with lust. I mean, I know we all do, but it's a weird position. But I want to use my singleness for Christ and not see it as a shackles of a burden. I want to use my extra time for extra good things, Yeah, that would be nuts. Because again, I really just want to eventually get to the point where I'm doing 1 to 3 hour marathon jamborees a day, where I don't expect people to stick around, but I'm getting the practice. I'm getting people coming in and out, and I'm trying to build something a little bit fun, And again, I don't want to do a hey, look at me thing. Music is supposed to be about the collective enjoyment of the thing. That being said, I do want to get better. But then I'm like, I'm 43. I'm not going to get any better at singing guitar. But then I'm like, It can't seem like a chore. It's got to seem like a thing. Oh, that's awesome. I will never screw you over in a million years. Like, yeah. Nice. What's a hydro bed? Like a water bed? Have you guys seen the smart beds? Just the cover for one as like a mattress pad was like 3 to 5 grand. But literally, you can dial in every single parameter of everything. Like, like if it'll sense the slightest molecule of discomfort, and it'll totally adjust itself so you get the deepest REM sleep. And then it like wakes you up with the music, and it does all these things, and it bends and folds all these directions. Hey, buddy. Oh, I love it. I probably took you guys for granted too. I'm like, oh no, it's a stinking Jose. Is the only one that comes to my streams. Beautiful soul. No, I didn't really think that, but you know what I mean. Like, I think I got close to 1K on one of my channels for subs. The sweet spot where people always show up. I got too addicted to it, and it was kind of meaningless. And then I look back at it, I'm like, oh, that's so cheesy. I'm spending all my time just talking to people online. What a complete waste. Oh. But I am trying something very delicious. This is my first day off weed. I'm just praying to God that he would provide stabilization of my system, that I won't, because I think I was abusing it to a small degree. Like at night, I would just listen to like 4 hours of music and do nothing else. But what a beautiful 4 hours it was. I was just so tranquil and feeling. I've been listening to jazz lately. I never like free jazz from the late 60s and stuff. John Coltrane, Miles Davis. I was just being enveloped in the music. And then I'm like praying to God today. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to put music over you, obviously, especially, and I want to be more productive. But at the same time, those feelings just feel so beautiful. And I hope that I can have the equivalent while still doing better, But I feel so immature even praying that, because it's, the best turbos. Yeah, we're turbocharged to the extreme. I love that, because it's like Tanya. She's like a waitress from a diner. Hey, Turbo, get you another cup of coffee. Not so fast, Turbo. But oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying him as a weed substitute, but it's more of an opioid thing, which kind of scares me. But it's really expensive. I've sent out for free samples. It's like it's one of the active ingredients in kratom, and I know a lot of those Facebook things kind of rip you off. Most of the places that have free samples, when you go to get the real one, it's like $80 for like a couple grams or something. So, anyway, you guys, I think that's a wrap. We'll do this again at least once a week, and hopefully we can find some stabilization with some stuff, and I won't be so uptight all the time. I absolutely get it, Maddie. I should be the president of the Maddie fan club. No! But yeah, I don't know. I just want to use my time well. I don't need to be seen or heard unless God wants me to be. I don't know. But thank you so much for the encouragement, you guys. Hopefully it was groovy. No, see, I just seem like I do, but all the times I just sat on my hands and I didn't need to, Like when people, like when I did my first concert stream on my first stream, people were like, whoa, I didn't know you played. That's crazy. I couldn't duplicate that the next day because I just felt like the wind was knocked out of me. I was going up and down on my different meds and stuff. So you never know what's going on behind the scenes with people. But I will pray for you guys. Yes, definitely reach out to me on Discord, Kita. Like I said, there were so many times I wanted to like run something by you, and I'm like, well, she probably has like guys hitting on her all the time, so I don't want me to seem like one of those guys. I don't want to like clutter up her life with a bunch of bullshit. Oops, bull spit. Yes, I shall add you. Thanks, guys. Peace.